Good evening, Professor L. This is Zaria. Let me start off by saying thank you so much for having me in your course and doing such an amazing job at making sure the courses ran smoothly, making sure I keep up with assignment dates, times, deadlines, missed assignments, etc. I'm greatly appreciative. So I just want to start out by saying sociology, for my personal experience, is honestly very unique for me to be a young Black woman who is not only a first year college student for her family, but I'm also in my my senior year. So a lot of people don't make it this far. I'm also a middle class woman. I do come from a lower class family though, so it is a little different for me in, adjusting to the world around me, going against all social norms and all expectations that people have for me is very different. I will say I'm very educated for not only my age and class, but also my race. A lot of people don't get to make it this far. We are underestimated as Black people, not only through the stereotypical, slavery times, but we didn't get to read. We didn't get to learn how to write. We didn't get to do any of those things that I absolutely love to do. So for me to be able to be in college and go to this institution and take these courses and talk about these things, honestly, is very personal for me. A lot of people don't get to do that. So I am extremely blessed and grateful and things of that nature. But sociology for me does hit a little different. They expect people like me to go to historically Black colleges and universities because they feel as if these places are built for us and they are meant for us. And my culture tries to normalize that, and they try to make these things very, very, very normal for us. And I try to tell them, as honorable as that would be, it's honestly not worth it for me, because I'd rather go somewhere else outside of my social norm, outside of what people value and believe we should do, and break those barriers and do different things and start new legacies, start new trends, start new things, so that we don't have to press these on, because they follow each other into generations. That's what they do. It's just kind of like religion. When you're religious and you believe a certain thing, you teach it to your children, they teach it to their children, and it kind of just goes on and on and on. So I just really want to, shy away from that. I also feel as if sociology applied to my own life, other than the class system and resources, we kind of deal a lot with, the inner family violence and things like that. Our rates are pretty high for that. The community I come from, like I said, is pretty lower in the class. So we didn't really have all of the, the peaks that someone would have. I didn't have a swing in the front yard. I didn't have a trampoline. I didn't have a bike for a very long time, as sad as it may be. But education was something that my mother really did press a lot. She pressed it a lot. If I have nothing else, I always have my education. That was one of her beliefs, and that's what she instilled into me. She feels as if individuals can function in society, but for young Black women and men, it is sometimes harder for us to function in society because we don't have the same resources, and we also don't have the same expectations because we don't have those resources. So they think we're unqualified, we're not able to, and we're sometimes incompetent. So I was always able to read and write and work my way up. And my mother did the same thing. So we went from a lower class family to a middle class family. And in a lot of ways, it opened up a lot of doors for us, believe it or not. And I'm very grateful for that. I also feel as if the individual and society function together. When you better individuals, you better your society. I feel as if you can better the individuals and give them the stepping stools and the platforms that they need, I feel like, socially speaking, that helps, because we fix these people and we put them back into these societies. So I fix you and I put you back, and it's kind of like, well, I can't function in society. I can't relate anymore. So then they start to fix the world around them, and they fix their communities, and they help build each other up and all things like that. It's kind of like a domino effect. You take one domino out, nothing happens, but you place it back in and you tip it, hits everything over. So I'm really excited about that. You kind of really got me going with that one. I absolutely love individuals and how they function in societies. I also feel as if certain behaviors and personal experiences carry a lot of significance for people because it affects how they act within their society and within their community. It also affects how they probably act in their partnership as parents, and it also will affect future generations. I feel like what a lot of people in our class didn't consider when we were, talking in our discussions and stuff, like these personal experiences and these behaviors, they rub off on their future children, which will ultimately affect the entire social behavior around them, because what you do lays on your children. Children like sponges, so ultimately whatever they see is what they're going to reciprocate, which is why I think a lot of times the lower classes are more or so seem to be the more angry class. They're not like the bourgeoisie or the middle class. They're really very much so considered to be the poor people, the bottom of the tier, the unhappy ones. And to be fair with you, they have all the right reasons to be unhappy, because they're not where they want to be in life. I also feel as if secondary and formal organizations, or secondary groups and formal organizations, could also help in these experiences, because we have these groups that are meant to help people. They're put in place to help better our community, and sometimes they're doing more harm than help, which is okay. So I'm not really too fond of that. I also feel as if the relationship between individuals and society they can be kind of wonky. People don't really see how one person could affect an entire society, especially social-wise. People are thinking, when they think social, they think social media. They think just interaction with people. They don't think interaction in your homes, with your partner, within the household, and things of that nature. They never consider the more vast and the larger portion of what it means to be social in society and function in society. And they also don't realize the underliers and the variables that we have that affect us in society, other than race, other than class, other than gender, mental wise. Sometimes it could be something that's wired in someone's mental aspect that could have them in these mindsets where they don't want to elevate, they don't want to come out of the lower class, they don't want to be more than what they are. They've normalized these beliefs that people have placed on them. They've made the statistic actually true. So I also feel like, there are more human effects than we think. It's more than the government, and it's more than the social communities around us saying that, oh, black people are not going to be smart, or white people are always going to be rich. When you instill these things and these words into people, sometimes it's all that they know, and they kind of can't help but to get out of that mindset. So I kind of feel as if it's a hard truth. And I just said that in a response to one of my classmates. It's honestly just a hard truth, but it is what it is, So hopefully one day our future will get better, though. So I'm really hoping for that. But thank you so much for listening. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you for having me in this class and having me in this course. I am beyond grateful. Thank you for bearing with me. This is kind of emotional for me, because I kind of had a hard time in the class due to unforeseen circumstances that most people wouldn't understand. And it's honestly crazy, because I'm taking a sociology course and dealing with a lot of things personally that my sociology course is teaching me about. So it hits home, and it's very, very, very personal. But I want you to know that I greatly appreciate it. Thank you for making a difference, and thank you for just having me in this course. Have a great day.